optimized my bottlenecks, removed redundant pointer checks. The database's subselects are indexed to a T. They shaved the microseconds down till there was nothing left to count. I instantaneously found the answer in a breeze. But I've been feeling so alone. Nobody here's calling me from a function or a phone. If I'm dead code, let me die.
It's the Monday Morning Show. Today is May 25th, 2015. I'm Ken Salle. That's Josh Woodward singing Dead Code. You can find out more about Josh at joshwoodward.com. You can find out more about me at kenlasalle.com. Change in plans. Big change in plans. If you've heard a few episodes of the Monday Morning Show, you probably know that I usually take this time to comment on the news of the day, some new breakthrough, things that annoy me, like that. Well, things are going to be a bit different for the next month or so because things have changed. They changed so fast, it didn't occur to me that it would change how I recorded these podcasts, but it did, so I will. And they are, so you'll notice, and so on. With that said, you're probably wondering what this change is going to be, what form it's going to take. Let me start by mentioning a terrific article by Kirsten Armstrong, writer and editor for Runner's World magazine, that appears this week on Huffington Post, titled, "The Problem with Having Your Life All Mapped Out." Kirsten lays out her background and how she had her life all mapped out, which I read with interest because anyone who knows me will tell you that my life has been anything but mapped out. I think I spell it out best in my book, A Grand Canyon. Vicky and I are leaving the Grand Canyon with really no idea where we're going, and I say, "We drove on a road we'd never been on without a map to wherever it went. We weren't entirely sure it would take us to Flagstaff. We navigated entirely by dead reckoning." "It's how I do most things," I told her. "Writing, acting, most relationships are navigated by dead reckoning." "Even ours?" she asked with a smile in her voice. "Especially ours. How do you think I knew to propose 2 months after we met? I'd been burned so many times before, but there was no doubt in my mind that you were the one." Dead reckoning. It's not just a method for finding your way through the dark. It's also a system for losing your way. And losing your way is highly underrated in our world. Losing your way provides more adventure and excitement than you might expect. Try this out, for example. Maybe you don't know what you want to do with your life. Maybe you don't have someone to love. When something appears to be missing, or when you've lost direction, rather than force what you think should be there, rather than force a career or force love to happen, you lose your way. Now, that doesn't mean losing your moorings. It doesn't mean abandoning your values. It just means that with regards to that one thing you may be missing, you give the whims of capricious randomness a try. You may be glad you did. Somehow, I've created a career recording audiobooks, writing novels, writing about philosophy, and even putting a little comedy out there. Did I plan that? Absolutely not. All I knew was what I loved, and I followed that. I focused on that. Maybe I wasn't supposed to produce audiobooks. Maybe comedy writing doesn't normally mesh with philosophy. But that's who I am. And because that's who I am, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And because I'm enjoying the hell out of it, you're going to hear me talking on that subject, living by dead reckoning, quite a bit for the next month or so. Because even those who live by dead reckoning can't always anticipate what that means. What does that mean? Well, here's the thing. I realized this week that I'm going through a midlife crisis. Yep, you heard that right. No, it's not your typical midlife crisis. I'm not looking to have an affair. I'm not saying I'd turn one down. I'm just not looking to have one. I don't want to be young again. I didn't buy a sports car. Nope. I bought a backpack. I reached a point in my life when I realized that my physical abilities will soon be on the decline. I'm not fighting that. I accept it. Anyway, my body has never been all that great to begin with. But there are things I'd like to do before it's completely shot. As you may know, one of those things is hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. So, I've been readying myself, getting more into shape, learning what I'll need to know. But when I understood that it's about more than that it's about reconnecting with that adventurous part of myself I left behind for adulthood, that I realized this is no simple hiking trip. This is about a change in my life. I'm going to turn 50, and if I'm going to get old anyway, why not do it in style? And why not write about it? After all, that's what I do, isn't it? But the thing is, I don't have time to start a new project. I can't put everything else aside. So, I won't. Instead, I'm going to be writing about my journey to the Pacific Crest Trail as it happens, in real time. Then, when I'm ready to make something out of it, I'll worry about that then. Dead reckoning. That's what it's all about. I've got a few backpacking trips coming up, so for the next month or so, that'll become more of my focus on this show. I'll have plenty of time to insult Republicans later. The cool thing for this week is embracing this change in my life, not just accepting it, but anticipating it and loving it. As crazy as that sounds, it's what we must all do. If your life appears chaotic, remember, this is your adventure. That's why scary and fun so often feels so much alike. This episode is brought to you by the second edition of my book, Climbing Maya, coming out on June 21st from Kal-Ba Publishing. I released the first trailer this past week, which you can check out on my YouTube channel. But just for fun, I thought I would also include the audio for it right now. Hi, I'm Ken LaSalle. This is my wife, Vicky. A few years ago, when my friend Tim was drinking himself half to death and the wife of another friend was actually dying, I lost my job. So, I guess you could say things weren't going great for any of us. One morning, driving on the freeway, I looked around at all the other people on the road and realized they were in the same boat. It might not have been alcoholism, or leukemia, or unemployment, but they were all living in the same maze as I was, scurrying for this or that piece of cheese. What is it we wanted anyway? What we wanted, what we all want, is success. But what the hell is that? Is it money? Is it family? Is it a good job? Nobody seemed to know. Everyone had their own idea, but nobody could tell me what success is. Tim kept drinking. Sean's wife Megan grew sicker and sicker. And try as I might, I couldn't find a job. So, I decided to find the answer to the question, what is success? My journey led me down some unexpected roads and to some of the smartest people in history, from Plato to Buddha, from Jesus to Maslow, from optimality theory to Kundalini yoga. And I wrote it all down in my philosophical memoir, Climbing Maya. What is success? Why doesn't the dictionary get it right? And what do you do when success eludes you, even as your life is falling apart? Find out in Climbing Maya. Climbing Maya, coming in June of 2015 from Kal-Ba Publishing. You can find it at your favorite e-tailer, or you can check on my website at kenlasalle.com. He sure does talk a lot. What? We're on? And that's the trailer for Climbing Maya. My thanks to Josh Woodward for providing the music for that as well. As you maybe can tell, I like the man's tunes. And that's the Monday Morning Show for May 25th, 2015. Be sure to check back next week for another episode. Head on down to kenlasalle.com for all the latest. You can find my ebooks, paperbacks, and audiobooks all over, etc., etc., etc. You have yourself a terrific week. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others. Let's make this world a better place.
Feeling so alone. Nobody here has called me from a function or a phone. If I'm dead, code, let me die, 'cause I'm only wasting memory alive. If I'm dead, code, wipe the drive, 'cause I'd rather be a memory than a ghost who's still alive.